Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to do a quick one this evening because this is breaking news as of a couple hours ago, but I was out on the range this afternoon entertaining some folks, so I'm just now getting around to doing it. So the news as of a couple hours ago was that the Senate has passed the One Big Beautiful Bill. So their version of the bill has passed out of their chamber, and it did so without the NFA reforms that you and I worked so hard to get in there. And you need to keep beating them over the head with that, because remember, back to your early civics class, probably like 7th or 8th grade or something like that, that a bill that originates in the House and then goes to the Senate, and the Senate changes anything about the House bill, then it has to go back to the House to be either accepted as is in a new vote, or the House can change the bill yet again and send it back to the Senate. And that's what we want. We want the House to put the stuff back into that bill. And that will force, basically, the Senate to kick the parliamentarian out. Because we know that she's going to say the exact same thing yet again. And so they're going to have to either overrule the parliamentarian and keep the stuff in, or they're going to have to fire her. Either of those options is good with me. I don't think that an unelected official that has been there, that was appointed under Barack Obama by Harry Reid, should have anything to do with our government today. If you've ever been loud, now is the time to throw an unholy shit fit, because we do not want your consolation prize of a $0 tax. It's not about the tax. It's about the unconstitutional infringement through the tax. The whole thing is in the tax code. Get it out of there. It can be messed with in a reconciliation bill. It is clear from looking at what the parliamentarian said. She doesn't understand what she's doing, or she is being partisan in her decisions, because she said that the AOW stuff was fine, but the short barrel rifle and suppressor stuff is not fine, even though we did the exact same thing with the two of them. So not a uniform application of logic. It is time to freak out on these people. And the reason I say that is because this bill passed out of the Senate with a 50-50 vote. So it was deadlocked, and J.D. Vance had to come in as president of the Senate in his role as vice president to break the tie. That means that in its current form, that bill is in serious trouble in the House. Remember, it squeaked by a narrow margin the first time around, and they've since taken several of the things that a lot of folks really wanted, including our NFA reforms, out of the bill. The only wild card here is the timeline. Is the House going to sit there and say, we got to ram this through because they wanted it by the 4th? Or do they say, nah, no, we're going to do this the right way. Tell them that you want them to do it the right way, even if it blows the timeline. Get it right. Put the NFA reforms, the entire text of the Hearing Protection Act and the Short Act back in the bill in the House, and send it back to the Senate. This is for all the marbles, folks, because if they pass the bill as is, then it goes to the president's desk. And if that happens, then our strategy going forward to restore the Second Amendment rights of the people to where they should have been left almost a century ago is to litigate it on the grounds that, well, they're infringing on the right without collecting the tax. It's a little thin, but it could work. But it will take 3 or 4 years and a couple $1 million worth of litigation to get that done, assuming that the Supreme Court rules our way or even takes the case once we get it up there. I would rather just get it done now, put forth a little bit more effort, get it done now, hold these people to task, and if they don't, then vote them all out. We might as well have a deadlocked government that can't do anything if they're not going to do it right. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. Today's video was brought to you by Medical Gear Outfitters. They are my one-stop shop for all things medical. You are much more likely to use your medical gear than your weapon that you carry everywhere. Real quick story to hopefully bring home how fast this can be an issue. And if you don't have your stuff with you, it can be way worse than this. But I'm driving westbound on I-70. I'm headed home for the day. And there's a gentleman who's driving eastbound. He swerves to miss a deer, loses control of the vehicle, hits the median, flips over the grassy median, almost ends up in oncoming traffic. It happened like 500 feet in front of me. Pulled off the side of the road, grabbed my medical kit, crossed the interstate, got to the vehicle, pulled the dude from the vehicle, blood in the face. The thing that was really disconcerting was that there was a lot of baby stuff in the vehicle, like wipes and diapers and an empty car seat. So I'm like, dude, you got anybody with you? Where's your kid? You know, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, I'm driving by myself. I'm like, all right, cool. Get him out. Got somebody to call 911, looked at his head, split wide open. You know, I gave him a blood soaker, and I took all the blood soakers out of my medical kit and handed it to him. Did some cognitive tests real quick. By that time, the cop had showed up. So I basically turned him over to the cop, and I actually left my medical kit. So, hey, Dietrich, hook your brother up, right? Especially auto accidents have a potential to create life-threatening injuries very quickly. This could have been way worse. If you're riding around without a real trauma kit in your vehicle, you're fucking wrong. Just telling you right now, you are wrong. And to help you guys out, I have a discount code from Medical Gear Outfitters. I'll have it listed in the pinned comment over the affiliates page. Use that to good effect. And special thanks to Dietrich and his guys over there and gals over there at Medical Gear Outfitters that made today's video possible. I'm out.